Meiosis versus mitosis.
What is meiosis and mitosis?
Well, Juanita, great question. Even though mitosis and meiosis sound similar, they're actually very different. Mitosis has to do with cellular reproduction. That means one cell divides, and the exact same replication of that cell is what you end up with, where meiosis has to do with sexual reproduction, where one cell divides and you end up with two different things. Let's start with mitosis. Mitosis plays a big part in our own lives. Have you ever noticed you put a Band-Aid over a paper cut and when you took it off, it was gone? Or you got a little bit taller. That is the work of mitosis. Mitosis is cells dividing, and if that didn't happen, you wouldn't grow. Mitosis has to do with cellular reproduction, not human. So whenever a cell divides, you get the exact same replica of the cell that just divided. It's like a clone. Mitosis consists of four main steps: prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. Before mitosis even takes place, there's a function called interphase, and that is where the cell will grow, its DNA will replicate, and it will do its day-to-day cell functions. Anyways, on to our first step. Prophase. So, prophase actually means beginning. As you can see, the nucleus is visible, and so are the chromosomes. The chromosomes are actually condensing, which means they are thickening and visible. Now you have metaphase. This means that your chromosomes have been aligned in the middle of the cell, and your nucleus has been disassembled, which means it is no longer there. Now you have anaphase. This is where your chromosomes are being pulled apart. So now you have chromatids being pulled to the sides by mitotic spindles. Telophase. In telophase, your chromatids are at opposite ends of the cell. As you can see, a nuclei forming around each of them is visible. Because we are in cellular reproduction in mitosis, they're going to be identical. So you have 46 in each. Cytokinesis. This comes after telophase. This step is responsible for splitting the cytoplasm and making two of the same cell. So here is mitosis step by step. Prophase is where your chromosomes are doubled into 92. Metaphase, chromosomes align in the middle of the cell. Anaphase, they are separated chromosomes, they are pulled apart. Telophase, cell division begins, and cytokinesis, daughter cells form. Now, on to meiosis. Meiosis involves sperm and egg. This is sexual reproduction, so you're not going to have identical cells at the end.
So is this how I get my orange hair and both of my parents are blondes?
Right on, Juanita. So, looking at this diagram, this is how you get a red-headed child. So, this is how that can happen. The great-great-grandma of that girl actually looked pretty much the exact same way. This is what meiosis does. It carries down genes from generation to generation. One of the main differences between mitosis and meiosis is that meiosis goes through the steps 2 times. That means you have prophase 1, metaphase 1, anaphase 1, telophase 1, prophase 2, metaphase 2, anaphase 2, and telophase 2. Prophase 1. This is where each chromosome matches up with its homologous pair. Let's take a closer look. You have 2 chromosomes, one from mom, one from dad, and they're doing something extraordinary. They are crossing over, which means they are exchanging genetic information, which this is how you get certain eye colors and all that kind of stuff. The chromosomes down here that you see that have bits of blue on them, bits of red on them, that is called a recombinant chromosome. Metaphase 1. This is where your chromosomes are lining up in pairs in the middle of your cell. Anaphase 1. In this step, your spindles are pulling your chromosome pairs apart. In telophase 1, your chromosomes are at 2 opposite sides of the cell. As you can see, nuclei are forming around each of them. After telophase 1, you have cytokinesis, where you have two not identical haploid cells. They are not identical because of the crossing over that happened in prophase 1. Now, time to run through it all again. Prophase 2. This is not as interesting as prophase 1. Basically, the chromosomes are just condensing. Now, on to metaphase 2. As you can see, the chromosomes are aligned in the middle, but they're not in pairs. So it's going to be the chromatids that get pulled apart, kind of like metaphase and mitosis. Anaphase 2. This is where your mitotic spindles pull your chromatids to each side of the cell. Telophase 2. As you can see, your chromatids are at opposite sides of the cell, and a nucleus is forming around each of them. Now, on to the fascinating part. After telophase 2, you have cytokinesis, which your two pairs of cells split into 4 granddaughter cells that each have 23 chromosomes. This is meiosis step by step. As you can see, after telophase 1, you have 2, and after telophase 2, you have 4. Anyways, thank you for tuning in to the Tonight Show with the Protozoan